In light of Suicide Prevention Month, I'm here to talk a little bit about it and share my experience. I know that it is something most people feel uncomfortable talking about. It is a very delicate topic, and I would like for it to be okay to talk about. I think we need to make it okay to talk about it. To talk about it with honesty, compassion, and understanding. I think we need to not just talk about the struggles of it and the darkness that surrounds it, but also about healing and hope. My personal struggles did not start overnight. My first existential crisis happened before I was even a teenager. And then from there, it was just years of pain, of being misunderstood, and feeling like I was losing my grip on reality, like I was losing myself in my own thoughts. And of course, eventually came that I lost my will to live. I hid it well because it's all I knew. I was functioning, but I wasn't living. I thought it was normal to be exhausted, to just mask everything, and I thought it was okay, but it wasn't. My life was a mess. All through my teenage years and into my early adulthood. It was a struggle. It was a struggle to get through the days. There does come a point though where the weight of your mind becomes too much to carry. For me, that happened about 10 years after I first experienced symptoms. It was a cold winter night, I remember, in my new city, and it was another existential crisis, but this time I was an adult and I had responsibilities to tend to, and there's stress involved and so many other factors. But that particular night, my mind was racing faster than usual. I felt like I couldn't breathe. There was pressure on my chest. I couldn't distract myself. I couldn't snap out of it. I couldn't disconnect from the mental torment. And it became so overwhelming that I lost myself and my ability to manage myself. In that moment of desperation, I panicked and I grabbed a steak knife, and a few times to my arm. The last one, the third one, was deeper, and it woke me up. It brought me back to the present moment, and then I realized what I had done. When I saw the blood gushing, it hit me that I didn't actually want to die. It was confusing because I don't know why I did what I did. It was like two of me. A part of me didn't want to exist, and the part of me didn't want to die. So it was a lot to process. Even when I was picked up by the ambulance, I was so disconnected from my experience. Like, I don't even remember the ride to the hospital. I remember that the paramedics were very condescending and disrespectful. But once I arrived at the hospital, the nurses were compassionate, and I felt safe. I didn't know what to think or feel, but I knew that I had survived whatever had just happened. So I thought that I would be free to go after the 14 stitches, but I was wrong. There's apparently a system in place where they send you to a psych ward if you attempted suicide, and so I was sent over there for suicide watch. I spent the night there and the following day as well. All I could do was think. I thought that I had lost everything, but I looked around and there was people around me that were suffering at a deeper level. They were going through things that I couldn't even imagine. And so I knew that I wasn't alone in feeling how I felt. And I knew then that I wasn't as far gone as I thought I was. I only kept thinking that if I didn't want to die, then what I truly wanted was to live a different life. And with that thought came some sort of liberation. On the day before my release, I was finally diagnosed Like I said, it was more than 10 years of symptoms, and it took that crisis, that breaking point for me to actually receive a diagnosis. It dawned on me that I wasn't broken, that I wasn't crazy, that my mind was ill, and like any illness, I could heal it. So it was definitely a turning point. I saw a path before me, and I saw it as an opportunity to heal and create a life that I didn't want to escape from. I think that's where my recovery journey began, with that sense of hope. What came after that wasn't easy. The recovery journey took time, years, patience, a lot of willingness to face my demons. It was countless difficult decisions, a lot of sacrifices, transformations, and I can say that by the grace of God and my rock bottom, I was able to find peace and contentment. Somehow, when I thought I had lost everything and when I thought I had lost myself, I found God at the rock bottom, and after some months I found peace. I found an unexplainable peace and eventually contentment, and then eventually on that foundation I was able to focus on healing my mind and my body and developing practices to help me reconnect with who I really am beyond all these roles and identities that we engage in on a daily basis, So eventually I got myself to therapy. I explored so many modalities, and all of that contributed to what I now call my recovery lifestyle, right? Because I don't think that healing is linear. I think that it is a journey and it is a lifestyle. But all of that to say that healing is possible, and there is hope, and there is help. And if you're struggling with something similar to what I've talked about, I just want you to know that you're not alone and you're not going crazy, and that there is hope. There is a way out of the darkness, and it might not be what you expect, but it is not death. The way out is hope, healing. And you have to know that you can rewire your brain, you can co-create a different life experience. And I hope that my story helped you realize that you are worthy of healing, that you are capable of love and of living a different life, a better one that does not torment you, one that does not haunt you, one that does not weigh heavy on you. You are capable of creating a life that you find joy and contentment and pride and all of the good things that you once thought were unimaginable, right? Reach out to somebody that you trust, somebody that you can talk to, whether that be friends or family or a professional. No matter what your life feels like right now, no matter how painful it is, no matter what you're going through, there is another side to it, and you can get to that place where you realize that it is worth living. I will share some resources about mental health and where you can get support. If you are someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, please, please, please reach out and get the help. There is help available. There is hope. And I wish that you get to experience the light at the end of the tunnel, the contrast to the darkness, all the lightness, all the goodness, and the joy that this world has to offer. I really pray that you get to experience the goodness, the beauty of the world, and the other side of that battle.